Welcome to Tirumala Vaibhavam YouTube channel. Today we will dive into another spiritual story. Do subscribe and like the video for more such deep spiritual content.
So let's place ourselves right in the middle of a battlefield. A great war is about to begin, and the warrior Arjuna, he's just completely paralyzed by despair. But his guide, Lord Krishna, is about to reveal a kind of knowledge that, well, it transcends time itself. This is the scene for chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, the path of wisdom.
Right off the bat, this chapter hits us with one of its deepest paradoxes. I mean, what does that even mean? To act but be inactive? To be totally still yet involved in everything? This is the central mystery we're going to dive into today. It's the secret to doing what we have to do in the world while staying free from all the suffering that usually comes with it.
Just try to picture it. Arjuna, our hero, looks across the battlefield and he sees his own family, his cousins, his teachers, his elders, all lined up ready to fight him. And his heart just sinks. He can't do it. He can't fight his own kin. It's right here, in this moment of total crisis, that his charioteer, Krishna, starts to unveil this much deeper knowledge, shifting the whole focus from the war outside to the real path inside.
So Krishna kicks things off with something pretty remarkable. He tells Arjuna, look, this wisdom I'm giving you, it's not new. I actually taught this at the very beginning of creation. But, he explains, over these vast stretches of time, this pure spiritual knowledge, it gets lost. And he's here to break that cycle.
So how does a timeless truth get lost? Well, Krishna lays it out. As the ages go by, that pure, direct experience of the divine just starts to fade. You know how we humans are. We have this tendency to control and structure everything. Spirituality becomes organized, it turns into institutions, and once you have institutions, what comes next? Politics and the chase for wealth. Simple, powerful truths get buried under these super complex theologies. And the essential spiritual practices, they get hidden under layers and layers of non-essential rituals. The whole spirit of it gets lost. And that's why, every now and then, a restorer is needed.
And right here, the chapter takes this huge, dramatic turn. Krishna reveals he's not just Arjuna's friend or some wise advisor. He is the divine itself, right there in human form. He tells Arjuna, I've had so many lives, and so have you. But here's the difference. I remember every single one of them. You don't.
This brings us to this incredible concept of the avatar. See, most of us were born into this world because of our past karma, kind of pushed and pulled by our past actions. But an avatar? That's completely different. The divine comes down out of pure freedom, by choice, not because it has to. An avatar is the master of karma, not its subject, and it descends for one main reason, for our well-being.
And of course, that makes you wonder, right? It's a question that echoes through every single culture. If God does show up on earth, when does it happen and why? Well, Krishna gives us the answer in the next 2 verses, which are probably the most famous lines in the entire Gita. First, he talks about the timing. It's not random at all. The divine projects itself into the world at these critical points in history, precisely when dharma, righteousness, morality, spiritual law is decaying, and its opposite, adharma, is taking over. It's like a cosmic balancing act. And then he explains the why. It's a mission with 3 parts. First, to protect the good people, the virtuous, all those who are really trying on the spiritual path. Second, to deal with the wicked. And this doesn't always mean physical destruction, but about transforming those negative forces. And third, and maybe most importantly, to reestablish dharma, to reboot the path of truth for all of us. So there they are, those 3 divine jobs, all summed up: protecting the virtuous, dealing with wickedness, and reestablishing dharma. And notice something really important here. The main purpose is constructive. It's about protecting and reestablishing. Getting rid of evil is just a means to that end. It's like clearing the weeds so that the good stuff can grow again. Okay, so all this talk of destroying the wicked and these epic, cosmic battles, it can feel a little distant, right? Like something out of a myth. But there's this really beautiful story shared by Swami Sarva Priyananda that brings this whole massive struggle right into our own hearts. It makes it deeply personal.
The Swami remembered giving a talk in this tiny village, and before he spoke, a local schoolmaster got up to say a few words about divine incarnations. And what this man said was so simple, but just incredibly insightful. It completely reframes this whole idea of a spiritual war.
This schoolmaster, he traced how the spiritual battlefield has evolved.
He said, way back in ancient times, avatars fought demons in other worlds. That was cosmic warfare. Then, the battlefield came down to Earth, when Lord Rama crossed an ocean to fight in a foreign land, an international war. Then, with Lord Krishna, the conflict shrinks even more. It becomes a civil war, a battle inside one's own country. And today, the schoolmaster said that in our age, the battlefield has become smaller still. The battlefield is now inside our own hearts.
And that just brilliantly illustrates why the Gita is so relevant to us right now. The war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas isn't just some historical event. It's a metaphor for the constant struggle going on inside every single one of us. It's the battle between our higher self and our lower self, between virtue and vice, selflessness and selfishness. That is the ultimate Kurukshetra.
So this internal battle brings us right to the chapter's formal name, Jnana Vibhaga Yogaha. Let's just quickly break that down. Jnana means wisdom or knowledge. Vibhaga kind of means a specific path. And yoga, of course, means union. So this is the path of uniting with the divine through the very specific wisdom of right action.
And the heart of this wisdom is a totally radical way of understanding what it even means to act. A wise person, Krishna says, sees things completely differently. They see action where the rest of us see nothing happening, and they find this deep, profound stillness even when they're in the middle of the most intense activity. So let's unpack this paradox, action in inaction. This means knowing that while your body and mind are busy doing their thing, your true self, the Atman, is just the silent, unchanging witness. It's not the one doing anything. Think of a brilliant surgeon in the middle of a really complex operation. Her hands are moving with incredible precision and speed, constant action. But her mind? It's in a state of calm, detached focus. That's action and inaction. And the other side? Inaction and action. This is the core of karma yoga. It's acting with all your energy in the world, but with zero selfish attachment to the outcome. It's the ultimate letting go. Not giving up the action, but giving up your ego's desire for the results.
And Krishna gets it. He knows this is a tough one. He even says that learned scholars get confused by this stuff, but then he makes this incredible promise. If you can really understand this, if you can truly grasp the nature of selfless action, you will be liberated from all the suffering and bondage that our actions usually create for us.
All right, so as we start to wrap up our explainer on this chapter, let's pull these powerful ideas together and see where they're pointing us. Krishna has laid out a path of wisdom that's both incredibly deep and really practical, but it also leaves us with a brand new and very compelling question. So, just to recap the big takeaways from chapter 4. First, spiritual truth is eternal, but it needs a refresh every now and then. Second, that refresh comes in the form of an avatar, who comes down to reestablish righteousness. Third, and this is huge, the most important battlefield isn't out there somewhere. It's inside our own minds and hearts. And finally, the key to winning that internal battle is wisdom. The wisdom to act in the world without getting tangled up in the results. This path of wise action, totally free from the ego's need for a reward, that's the core teaching of this chapter. It's a path to freedom, really. It's about finding that stillness in the middle of the storm of life. But as one door opens, another one always seems to appear. And this leads to a really natural and super important question. If the whole point is to be detached from the fruits of what we do, if the enlightened person is totally still on the inside, then why act at all? Why not just go retreat from the world and meditate? What is the ultimate point of doing anything if we're supposed to renounce the outcome? And that very question, well, it's the perfect bridge into the next phase of Krishna's teaching. In fact, it's the exact question that Arjuna himself is about to ask. And it leads straight into the wisdom of the 5th chapter, which is all about the relationship between taking action and formally renouncing action. So which is better, to act in the world with total detachment or to renounce the world completely? We're going to explore Krishna's answer in our next explainer on chapter 5. Thanks so much for joining us.
That was today's story. Please do like, share and subscribe for more such interesting stories. Let's connect with another story. Till then, stay blessed.